Hey friends, thanks so much for joining me today. My name is Chrissy and I'm a 39-year-old Canadian expat living in London, here to chase a dream. I've said this a million times, but just in case um, any newbies come along, I am on a journey of paying off just over £9,000 worth of credit card debt on my very own. I would say a single income, but because I have multiple jobs, a few people have mentioned that it's not a single income because I work a second or a third job. I don't get it, guys. I'm the only one that works for this money, and I would call it single income. But guess what? I'm just gonna call it my very own rant over. Anyway, moving forward, it is November. And I realize it is the 3rd of November and I still haven't done my November budget. And things have happened since. So I think it's about time that I sit down and do my budget. So I'd just like to show you what I've been using. I have been using the Inamio 24-hour planner. If I just show you here, it's a week to view planner. Which is excellent because for someone who balances a couple of side hustles, I like to make sure that oh, see, like you can see here, this is my 9 to 5. This is one job, and then I do like a second shift afterwards. So I hustled very much throughout the entire year, and a lot of it's contributed a lot to my debt repayment. So I was able to go gazelle intense in the beginning of the year. There was 1 month where I put in £1,300 on a debt repayment, and I have in this entire year been balancing a move and a change of circumstances, because I used to share accommodation with somebody else, and then now I'm moving. Now I live completely on my own, so all my own bills. And I think it's helpful for anybody who decides to live on their own under any circumstances, and figure out what a single income does look like, a single person's living expenses. So that's me there. I want to use today's video as a budget with me in November. So I went with a winter theme. I'm so basic with in terms of, let me zoom you right in. I am so basic in terms of like stickers or whatever. It's just because I lack creativity. It's not my strong suit. I've seen so many people's bullet journals look amazing, and here's my very simple one. It suits me. I can coordinate everything, and if you look at the previous months there, it does help with, well, it's fit for purpose. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fill out my categories here and get right back to you. Okay, I am back. Let me zoom you right in. I filled out all the categories here. So the first things first, let's talk about my income that I'm bringing into November. So what I got paid from my main job was £44.76. I'm very junior in my position. I've decided to go for a what do you call it? A career change. And I'm very junior in my position, which is why it's not to the level at my age that I would have liked it to be. Okay, so my PAV, that's pavilion, by the way, because it's the name of the building. It's my investment flat. So if you guys have been following, I have moved from one town to another. I moved to London, about 4 years ago, and I decided to rent out my home. So at the moment, I am getting rent from tenants, which is £850. Because here I am chasing the dream. Okay, and my side hustle, let me just grab a calculator because I have worked two jobs, two employers. So from the pub job, I received in total for the last 4 weeks, £764.53. And I also received £162.56 from the football club. So that would bring 900. I feel like that's wrong. Hold on. 764.53 plus 162.56 That is wrong. Let's go back here. And this is how I normally calculate my side hustle. So in week 1, I received 164.40 plus 231 pounds and 81 pence in week 2. Week 3, I received 176.32 and 198.53 from week 4, and a 162.55 from the other one. Am I doing this wrong? Oh geez. 164.40, 231.81, 176.32 plus 198.53 and 162.55. That looks better. 933.61. That's only because I've counted earlier, so that's why I'm thinking, okay, that's wrong. So let's go back to the main page there. So I brought in 933 pounds and 61 pence. October, although it was a 6-week month, somehow because there were only 4 Fridays, I got paid 4 times, which, you know, October did me dirty, man. Anyway, moving on. I still did well for October because I rolled over 8 pounds and 39 pence. So my rollover is 8 pounds and 39 pence. So that brings it to a total, hold on, let me do this correctly, 2044.76 plus 850 plus 933.61 and 839. So I am bringing in 3,836 pounds and 76p. Great, that's a healthy number. I had hoped I could work one job. That is a dream. One job with just that amount, but you know, it is what it is. Okay, rent. So I pay, I live in a 1-bedroom apartment in zone 3 in London. So it's 1,225 pounds for the rent. I paid that on the 1st. So there you go. I'm just going to fill that out with 0 difference. Council tax. Again, living on my own, it's 103 pounds for single persons. You in the UK, if you live on your own, you get a discount of 25% on this council tax. It does make sense because less garbage, less, I use less, I enjoy less than families in a single dwelling. So in one dwelling. Broadband, 34.30. That's about average. I'm listening to other people's budgets, and that's about average of what people pay. My water rate is £30.35. My gas and electric, at the moment, I'm paying £97 and 3 pence. I am closely watching my consumption, and it looks like I'm only being invoiced about 50 or 60, at most 70 pounds a month. So I'm thinking, what actually does need to happen is that this would actually, the extra 30 odd pounds that that I'm overpaying, that actually reduces my current balance, which is at the moment in the negatives. So anyway, that was a long-winded story. Sorry, I am moving on. H3G, that is my mobile phone. I am on a SIM-only plan, and I pay 16 pounds or 16.01. I'm going with the higher end there. Apple Music, I pay $5.99 for a subscription. I don't really need it, but I can't really get rid of it because I have stored so much music I don't want to get rid of. My gym membership is £15.49. I do plan on going back to the gym. It was evident in the last month that I haven't been going to the gym, that burnout has kind of caught up with me. So I need to take care of myself. I need to go to yoga classes and take time for myself. And I feel like I didn't really do that in late September, early October-ish, which is why, you know, as of recent, I have decided to reduce my hours and yeah, there you go. Just take care of myself a little bit more. My HSBC Advance. This is an insurance that I pay to the bank. It covers my breakdown, it covers my mobile phone, and a little bit of travel as well. So I think it's a good deal. I had recently used the breakdown cover recently with no questions asked, and it was the easiest thing. So I'm very, very happy that I've been paying this insurance there. It's sort of like a safety net for me. Okay, moving on. Oh, let's just figure out like how much that is. Hold on. So 1225, 103, 34.30. Broadband, £30, 35. Water, 97.03. Gas and electric, and 16.01. 5.99, 2.99, and 15.49, 11.95. So that's 1,542 pounds and 11 pence. Okay, moving on. I need to move this so I can put this in frame. There we go. So moving on, I want to say gas and travel. Sometimes I use the National Rail if, you know, if it's just cheaper. So that's why I've added that in the category. Gas to travel, 80 pounds. I am going to Birmingham in week 3 of November. That is for work, but I think what would normally happen is that I would spend the money and then that would get expense back. I don't know how to work, but you know, I need to have the money there. So 80 pounds. I'm going to budget this month. Miscellaneous is going to be 200 pounds. Tithe is going to be 80 pounds. There are 4 Sundays in November. Week 1, there are 4 days. So November 1st to the 5th, there are 5 days. There we go, 5 days, 20 pounds each. So I'm going to budget 100 pounds. Spoiler alert, I already went over because I went out. So there we go. And 20 pounds a day is 140 pounds. 140. And week 5 is 4 days, 27, 28, 29, 30, 20 days. So that is 80 pounds I'm going to budget for week 5. I have one more payment to pay my TV off. So my TV broke down back in April, and then I had to buy a brand new TV. So yeah, it was 5 payments. It was an Amazon purchase, and it was split into 5 payments every 30 days. So $55.80 is what I'm going to pay, and that is my final payment. Excellent. Which brings my total of variable expenses to, let's find out, 80 pounds. 80, 200, 80, 100 for week 1, 140 week 2, 140 week 3, 140 week 4, 80 week 5, and 55.80. So that should be 1,015 pounds and 80 pence that I am spending for my variables there. Mind you, I still have a birthday to consider, and I'm hoping like my personal spends would absorb that. I'm not doing very well with splitting my categories into gifts or shopping or etc. So that's why I give myself 20 pounds a day, because it is quite easy for me to just like stay at home, do absolutely nothing, and have a no spend day rather than, you know, do that. Okie doke. So going into my investment flat. My investment flat, it's been the same cost every single month this year. So 334 pounds and 91 pence is what I pay for my mortgage. That goes out in week 3 of November, which is like not ideal, because I'd prefer it to leave on the first week of the month. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Service charge, I normally pay it in the past years. I normally pay it on an annual basis. So it could be about like a £1,200 service charge, but because of my circumstances earlier this year, I've had to throw it in as a monthly expense, which is not ideal, especially when your monthly budget really needs to stay at a minimum. So therefore, I have my sinking fund. So anyways, I'm very excited because this is like the penultimate. So this is the second to last month that I'm paying my service charge. And next year, I'm not going to do that anymore. So excellent, like that I'm elated about. So £97 and 84 pence is what I'm throwing in there, and it's been the same total, so £432 and 75 pence is what I'm putting through to my investment flat. Savings is a new category, same category. You can see here, I've taken the closing figures of last month and thrown it on here. My family budget is 580. Family reunion is £580, but because I've used my American Express to pay off those flights, I've just been throwing that budgeted amount into my American Express, and I'm trying to figure out how to throw it into the mix in my budgeting world. So yeah, because I still use it for points. So I'm still confused. I haven't figured it out yet. I will in a future video. Anyway, that's the tea on that one. So like sinking funds, I need to save. Let's talk about my sinking funds. So my sinking funds, I need to pay £2,582 for annual expenses. We're talking about car insurance, landlord insurance, anything to do with the flat and the service fees, ground rent, etc., car tax, whatever. So $2,500 is what I need to save up. I have used a lot of it because of expenses throughout the year, but I figured as long as I have $1,415 in my bank by January, I could pay that as an annual expense and remove that from the scope of my monthly expenses. So sinking funds, I've been not always, this year I've been putting £215 and 16 pence away, and I actually did that. So let me do that on the first of the month. 16. So what I have in that bucket there, 1488, 53 plus 215, 16. I'm gonna close that at £1,703 and 69 pence, which is quite healthy. Emergency fund, I used a little bit of it recently because I've had to buy a new battery for my car. It died. I never drive it, and because I haven't used it in forever, it ruined the cell life of it, and it's just not a great expense. So I already messed this up, guys. Let me take that out because I actually need to remove sorry guys, just uno momento. So I had to pay for a battery and it cost me £128 and 99p, I believe. Ooh, why can't I find my red pen? There it is. Okay, so I had to use £128 and 99 pence for my battery. So £1,000 minus 128.99 is £171. I have to top that up in the future months there, but right now my focus is on building that pot for my 40th and my family reunion. Okay, so family reunion fund. I am putting in £200. This is going to directly to my American Express. So I don't want to put any more in there towards the family reunion pot. So I'm still gonna close that 580 as 580. If anybody was wondering what that 580 is for, it's in a high yield savings account. I decided not to remove it and just throw like extra money in there and not feed any more into it. I don't know. It just looks like I feel like I'm safe if I kept like about 3 grand in my account. 580. So that's 3,068 pounds and 53 pence that I have in a high yield account, high yield savings account. And it's getting like a $5 a month, which is great. I'm just, at the moment, I just don't really want to move it. So I used my emergency fund already, man. So yeah, not ideal. It's how I'm gonna work this budget. I'm not dying, guys. So I need to close that at 315. 3154.7. So that is 415 pounds and 16 pence that I put in there. But I use 215.16 minus 128.99 plus 200. 286. 17 is what I threw into savings. So I'm in a little deficit. I mean, no, I'm not in a deficit. Yeah, that's what it is. Moving on. I am moving on, guys. My PayPal. I paid off my PayPal in May, so fantastic news. I don't need to care about that. I want to keep it in scope because it feels like I'm winning. Although I'm sort of like playing myself a little bit because I have an American Express now that I use for points. So we'll figure that out later. HSBC, I paid it off last month. So haha, no minimum payments. I don't need to budget anything. I don't need to throw anything in there. And therefore, my balance is going to stay at 0. Fantastic news. My minimum payment for my Virgin Virgin Money card, I don't know yet. The statement hasn't gone out, but I reckon it's going to be about 31 pounds. Okay, so let me just figure this out because on a zero-based budget, I just really want to throw everything I've got on my Virgin Money account. So 3836.76 minus my 1542.11 minus my fixed expenses minus my variable funds minus my investment flat for 32.75 minus my savings, which is 415.16 minus 31 pounds, which is likely going to be the minimum payment. So I'm gonna budget 399 pounds and 94 pence. Oh, I'm not showing you. OBS 399.94. So I want to budget an extra payment of nearly 400 pounds, which is pretty good. Guys, I could not do this without a second job. I was just telling a lot of people in the pub that like there's just no way that I could save over 400 pounds and throw in over 400 pounds of debt repayment without on just like my main job's income. That's crazy. And nor do I want to live constrained with my finances for that long. So it like I did a trajectory. It would take me 9,048 divided by 165. My overpayments that I could afford without any of this would be 165 pounds. So it would take me 55 months to actually pay that off. What's that? 55 divided by 12. It'd take me like 4.5 years. I'm not going to do that. And that is just, yeah, I don't want to put myself through that. So there you go. That is my budget. Oh, let me do my summary. Duh. Hold on. So I like to do this where I have a summary just down here. Just like as a little summary. Okay, stop saying summary, girl. Okay, so my income is 3,836 pounds and 76 pence. My fixed expenses is going to be 1,542 pounds and 11 pence. My variable cost is is going to be 1,015 pounds and 80 pence. My investment flat, PAV, is going to be 432 pounds and 75 pence. And savings, 415.16. And then my debt repayment is going to be 430 pounds and 94p. So I hope this is zero-based budget. So let's just count what money's going out. 1542.11 plus 1015.8, 432.75, 415.16 plus 430.94. It should amount to that. So 3836.76, exactly zero-based budget. Ta-da! Okay. Ta-da! Okay, so I'm happy that this is done. I know November is going to be a really busy month for me. I have a conference to attend. I have 2 birthdays to consider, which I didn't even budget for, obviously. But let's see how it goes, because like I'm thinking, because I'm so busy, I probably would I'm hoping that, well, I don't know what I'm hoping, but let's see how it goes. What's interesting about the summary is that I can find out like how much I spent on variables like the month before. So if I do fancy on figuring out what my baseline for a salary would be, I need to know that for me to live okay, I need just like over 1,000 pounds of variable expenses to live with enjoyment. Like, I'm not going extravagant. So here my variable was 1127. That's on August. That's because I just met my boyfriend. Beforehand I was doing just under 1,000, so 991.09. Variable was, I did well, 683.61 in June. That is because I remember that summer. That is terrible. Variable expenses 849.27 in May. And variable here in April. This is like just when 687.51, and that is because I literally worked every single day of my life in April. Oh my goodness, yeah, burnout is real. So need to enjoy my life now. Anyway, that is it. I am rambling way too much. So have a great one. Thank you so much for watching. And I will speak to you regarding any check-ins, because this is obviously what I need to do nowadays. And I have a new budget set up as well. So I'm going to show you my new journal. Anyway, stop talking. Zoom out. Have a great one. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.